Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. We are the Mile High Property Brothers. Today, a little up north, northwest, but we'll be talking about Boulder and if you should be moving there or not.
That's right, guys. Let's check it out. What's up, guys? I'm Eli Schmidt. This is my business partner, Will Grimes. And if it's your first time checking out our channel, welcome. And while you're here, you're gonna wanna hit that subscribe button because we're dropping a new video every Tuesday and every Thursday telling you everything there's to know about moving to or living in the entire Denver, Colorado area.
100%. And we're licensed brokers here in the state of Colorado, which means just as much as we love making these videos, we will love more to help you with those real estate needs. So that number that's popping up below, we are the guys to answer the phone calls, text messages, and those emails. So if we can help you, we would love to. Well, with that being said, let's dive into it. And hey, honorable mention, when I say just as much as we love making these videos, we would love more to help you guys. It's Eli's birthday today.
Oh no.
Eli's 37.
37.
The one day he doesn't have to buy lunch, he won't. The other ones he doesn't either. Either way, it's his birthday. We're bundled up.
That's right.
He's not bundled up yet, but we are getting bundled up when we heading out to Boulder and showing you guys that. We are gonna include some footage of like nice weather Boulder so you can see that. But today it snowed, last night it snowed, so we got some snow cap you guys will see from some of the drone footage. But we're gonna get out there and have some fun just after one of our clients' inspection today. So we're gonna go get all that content, but it's his birthday. Wish Eli a happy birthday. I got 37 of them right here. But before we get to those punches, but before all of that gets started, we are gonna finish this for you guys, but let's dive into it. Boulder, should you move there? Should you not move there? Let's just kind of go in depth as far as what that looks like and allow you guys to make the decision yourself.
Now, why we wanted to make this video, guys, we do get a ton of reach outs from people that are considering moving to Boulder. And again, like we've mentioned before, so many of our clients that reach out to us from this channel, they can kind of live anywhere. So they rely on us to kind of give our 2 cents based on their wants and needs on where they should end up. And a lot of people, when they're coming over, Boulder is on a lot of their lists, but it's also one of those places that it's on an island of its own, but it has a lot of its very own characteristics compared to a lot of the other Denver metro areas. So this video, we're gonna go over some of the pros and some of the cons and whether or not it might be for you.
And out of the gate, we've mentioned this stuff before, so I'm just gonna give you the great things about Boulder super quick, and then we're gonna get into not necessarily the not so great things, but the things you might not know that are gonna allow you to make the decision in addition. But as we know, Boulder, amazing landscape. One of the most beautiful places you will find in Colorado. You've got Nederland, that's right behind it. A lot of great stuff. And you've also got the #1 school district in Colorado being that in Boulder County. So those 2 things, phenomenal, awesome. Not that you can't find beautiful landscape in Colorado outside of Boulder. Not that we don't have other great school districts. Of course we do. That's just your #1. But with that being said, right, let's move right into like the actual stuff that you guys want to talk about. One thing that comes to mind is traffic. So Colorado as a whole, we don't have bad traffic. Our average speed limit during rush hour on I-25, I-70, 6th Avenue, whatever it may be, is like 47 miles an hour. So it's not terrible. The infrastructure here has really done a great job, or the state's done a great job with the infrastructure, predicting the influx of people that we've had come here. However, in Boulder, you've only got so many like roadways that kind of go through it. Basselin's one of the main roads, but during like rush hour, and because it is a college town, you do get a lot more congestion because you've got a lot of people in and out of Boulder because they work there, in and out of there because they go to school there, in addition to just your traditional residents. And that does make traffic a little tight because it is a little bit smaller of an area.
And with Boulder just wanting to maintain what Boulder is, they're not expanding roadways all the time, and they're not doing any new developments out there. They're not putting in new roadways and new infrastructure. So again, kind of what you have there is what you have there, which means as it continues to grow in popularity, whether that's people moving there or just people going there to visit on the weekend.
And you get a lot of it. Like your weekends and folks want to go up and hit Pearl Street or going for hikes and things like that. Like that's just part of it. However, the flip side of that is, well, that's also what allows Boulder to hold its value, maintain its value for so long, is because they're not just going to go duplicating and expanding. They want to keep that there. And if you guys know, if demand is scarce, ability to live there or buy there is limited, well, then the value of what you guys have is awesome. Something else that gets a little crowded since we're on this crowded hit right now is hikes.
Yep, local trails.
So local trails are amazing, but Colorado as a whole is very active. So you have a lot of Coloradoans or new folks coming to Colorado that adopt that active lifestyle, and they get on Google, they get on YouTube, and they go find all the great trails that are there. So even though they're local to Boulder, a lot of non-locals, such as myself, and this guy, we go up and we enjoy those hikes with our family. So depending on what time of day you're going, or if you're gonna be making that like a weekend thing, it could get a little congested.
Yeah, and this is a great tip. If you are going to think about living there, and nature is one of the primary reasons you are living there, with you being the benefit of being a local, you'll be able to go on a Tuesday afternoon or a Thursday evening or something like that when they won't be as packed. Really, it is primarily the weekends when you do get a lot of outsiders coming in for those trails that it gets as congested. So if you are gonna be living there, again, maybe you just kind of go during the week and you avoid the weekend traffic.
Right, and one of the benefits, I guess, or not necessarily benefit, but one thing to keep in mind is typically on the weekends when Pearl Street gets busy or the local trails get busy, your eateries and your like local grocery stores, those don't necessarily get more busy because people aren't up there for that per se. They're up there for what people know Boulder is for. But that brings us to a plus when I mention like eatery or food. You definitely have some amazing food up there, and like not sure how to identify Boulder's culture. Some people might call it
fancy.
Go with fancy, right?
Pretentious.
Like the chicken is a heritage breed, woodland raised chicken that's been fed a diet of sheep's milk, soy, and hazelnuts.
Okay, this is local?
Forward-moving, fancy, that word. He said it, not me. I'm on this side of the brand. He's on that side of the brand, which means I'm on this side of accountability.
That's right.
But I will say, like, Boulder does a great job of just being open to a lot of different cultures. And some of the food that they've started bringing up there, the Italian food, American food, but you've got some great curry that's up there.
Cuisine from all over the world.
Cuisine from everywhere. So that is definitely a plus. And there's a lot of, like, mom and pop shops, little hole in the walls.
Farm to table places.
But not everybody knows about them because they don't get marketed. So unless you're a local, like we've got some friends that live up there that moved there. They took us to a couple of eateries during the day that even we didn't know about. And we're pretty good with knowing Boulder, but even we didn't know some of these and they were super good. So that's something that's always fun to dive into. That's never gonna necessarily get overly crowded. So something you can benefit from as a local.
True, and tying that into one thing that I think Boulder wins on in comparison to a lot of other places in Colorado is walkability.
Yeah.
Now, we talked multiple times how Denver is not a very walkable city. Downtown Denver is, the lower downtown area is walkable. However, outside of that, man, you're gonna want some sort of vehicle or something. However, if you're in Boulder, man, it's extremely walkable. Because it's Colorado, you're still gonna want a vehicle to go up to the mountains and stuff. However, the city itself, you can pretty much get anywhere and everywhere, either using foot, bike, or public transportation.
Right, and even though like downtown Denver is walkable, it's still big. Blocks, like 2 blocks in downtown Denver are like blocks,
Yeah, whole
right?
blocks, yeah.
Blocks in Boulder, definitely not. A little bit more intimate, a lot of fun. So depending on the season that it is, they do a lot of stuff for the holidays that's out there. So either way, like the overall experience while you're there, definitely I would say it's still worth it.
Now, property tax. A lot of you guys may be surprised that think of Boulder as having more expensive home, higher price homes, which they do. However, the property tax, you have a huge savings on. Property tax in Boulder is only 0.61%. So not bad. If you're looking at $1 million home, you're looking at $6,100 a year on your taxes.
Well, that matters because when we're talking percentages, guys, like 0.6% of, $1 million and 0.6% of $4 million, like the higher you go on price point, the bigger that it gets. So having that decreased property tax out there and having it at that rate, it matters because on average your price point in Boulder is significantly mill plus easy all day, right? So the fact that it is lower, it does help with just that added bill of taxes every year on that home.
Well, and for comparison's sake, if you're looking at, let's say, a new build community in Castle Rock or Southeast Aurora, or pretty much any new build communities that you'll find out there, those on average are about 1% to 1.2%. So the fact that you're almost half of what that is, 60% of what that is a huge savings for being up in Boulder.
100%.
All right, now to give you an idea as far as what you can find as far as general demographics out there, it's really surprising that even again with Boulder having higher price homes and stuff like that, you think that might come with more maturity, higher age. However, you do have a college there and a lot of local residents bring that down, and it is just a young feeling city. You've got median age out there of 28 years old.
Correct, and you do have like a lot of tech companies that are in Boulder. So a lot of these folks that go to college or whatever, maybe they end up working for Google or for Oracle and they make great money and they can afford Boulder. They're not necessarily necessarily older than that age. They're out of college and they've got great careers, and if they're working remote or whatever it may look like, but there are tech jobs that support that style of lifestyle. But man, even as you get older into some of these folks that are 30s or 40s or 50s that are out in Boulder, still very active. And I think everyone's level of like just being active and taking care of themselves in Boulder, I think it just, whether you're older than 20 or not, the overall feel of Boulder has that atmospheric to it because of how active everybody is.
It is. Now, diving into what you can expect as far as the types of home out there, because half of you watching this are probably thinking that Boulder is straight up mountain living and you are at mountain peaks overlooking the world. And then the other half of you might think that it's just a normal college town. Well, it's
both of you would be right.
Both of you are right, yes. And that's one of my favorite things about Boulder is you can go and you can live in Boulder and you've got cute neighborhoods that are surrounded by mountains, but you're more kind of in the valley. You have good walkability to downtown Boulder and you've got some cute little shops and it has a very good neighborhood feel. People take care of their yards, people are saying hi to their neighbors, people are hanging out on their front porch. Really good neighborhood community feel. If you choose though, you can head 10 minutes up into the mountains and you can be on top of the world having a real mountain view with acres that you own, and it really does feel like its own little world even up there.
Only took 37 years for him to say cute, like
I know.
expanding his vernacular. Super impressed, but he's right, like that word cute, like it's kind of spot on for some of the feel that's over there. And you've got some great single family homes that are brand new builds that are not too far proximity wise to like the college area in Pearl Street. You've also got some reestablished homes, right? Some of the old vintage homes that are from just original Boulder that are a little bit more cultured.
Yeah, good character.
A ton of character to them, but they get remodeled and refurbished and all that great stuff. So a ton of choice with that in the mountains as far as like whether it's modern or established and been there for a while and updated. You've got everything. You've also got a lot of like, I would call them like upside down cake homes. So his vernacular is way better than mine. I'm gonna compare it to like an upside down cake. But hear me out. What I'm getting at is when you would approach the home, you arrive at the home on the top floor. So when you arrive in this main floor that you're looking at when you walk to the front door is the top level, and then it could be a 3 or 4 story home, but it's built down onto the side of the mountain, if that makes sense. So they're beautiful, they're awesome. They do take a little bit of getting used to because most people aren't used to walking in to the top floor and going down for stuff. They're used to walking in, and if they've got a basement, cool, but they go up as far as like your primary bedroom or whatever it may be. So a different style of living, but a lot of these homes, when they're built onto the side of the mountain like that, what you have to be open-minded to is it's not a traditional home like you might think. You're like, they're literally building this home to create the experience of mountain living. So when you walk into that home, you shouldn't be focused overly too much on the home. It's the amazing views, and no matter what floor you're on or what room you're in, you have those views. It's a completely different experience when you get into homes like that, but really cool, but take a little bit of getting used to, but definitely upside down cake as far as how I would put it.
That's right. Now, let's dive into the weather a little bit as we're talking the mountains, because you're gonna have two very different experiences if you're living in the Valley of Boulder versus the mountains of Boulder. So you could be in the Valley of Boulder, and Boulder in general does get more snow because you are closer to the foothills, the flat irons that you have there. It is the Rocky Mountains.
Yeah, we're in the Rockies.
Yes, it is the Rocky Mountains. You are gonna get more snow even when you're just in the city of Boulder down in the valley. Now, even if you just head 8 or 10 minutes up into the mountains of Boulder, man, it goes 0 to 100 real fast when it comes to snow. So you're gonna get a lot more snow up there. You're gonna get a lot more wind, which means you're gonna have higher drifts. On top of that, there's a very good chance you're gonna have a really long driveway, and you might go from just needing a snow shovel or a snow blower to needing a snow plow or even
Tractor,
or outsource that with
depending
your
on how
neighbors.
much land you have, right? And like, yes, a lot of neighbors up there. I'm glad you mentioned that. There are some companies that specifically are up there in the Boulder Mountains where, like, if you and your neighbors pay a certain amount of money, not only will they do the public roadways up into the mountains, they will also plow your driveways personally. So there are some businesses that are up there that are established, and if you guys can afford those type of homes, obviously you can afford to service those homes, and one of those services being making sure that the plows and everything are taken care of, so when you guys wake up, you're able to get out of there. But at times, depending on how high you are up in the mountains, there's just gonna be some days where, hey, maybe there's 1 or 2 days where like it's just not the best idea to go out, and you can work from home and have your internet and eat some pumpkin spice whatever and enjoy the views of all the snow. But definitely as you get higher up in there, there's some days where like maybe leaving's not the best idea.
It's true. And one final point that I have, because I know this is important to a lot of you.
I always get the final point. It's his birthday.
Eli's final point. I'm sure he'll have more. This is important to a lot of you guys I hear is, high-speed internet. Now, because Boulder is so established and because Boulder is such a tech hub, it is not hard to find high-speed internet up there. Even in a lot of the mountain homes that you're gonna find, a lot of them have fiber that have been ran to the home.
Maybe even rent out some of your property to Xfinity. They can put a tower right onto your property. You can make a little bit of money on it.
So whether it's fiber internet or just high speed, you know, satellite like Starlink or something like that, although a lot of the places there do have fiber internet. So if that is something that's important to you, you're gonna be okay.
Unpredictable. Last point, that number's popping up below. We are licensed brokers in the state of Colorado, and yes, just as much as we love making these videos, we would love more to help you with those real estate needs. So that number that's still back up below. We are the guys who answer the phone calls, text messages, and those emails. So if we can help you, we would love to. But with that being said, we're gonna stay warm. We're gonna get up there and show you guys all of what Boulder has to offer. We'll show some good weather from some stuff we've had before. We'll also show some snow so you guys get a good feel for that. If you have any questions, we'd love to hear from you. But until next video, you guys enjoy your week, enjoy your weekend. Thanksgiving is coming up soon.
That's right, next week. Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving. We will see you guys very soon.
See ya.